Hey everyone, it's Groovy Guy here. Just got Unite Warriors Devastator today, so I just wanted to do a quick little review or little show of him. First off, I'm going to do a quick little howdy do on the robot modes, and do a quick little visual on the vehicle modes, and then one final view on the combined mode with a few little comparisons for the combined mode. So I'm going to be starting off with long haul here, the big tubby one of the group. Now, I think my one may have a bit of a QC issue because if you can see here, this one's elbow, he waves up and down pretty fine. There it is. Whereas this one here, he sort of goes the opposite way. He has a dislocated elbow. Now, I can pop the arm joint off, but the actual elbow joint itself has these metal pins going through it, so I can't actually invert it by hand. I think I'll have to actually rip these bolts out, which would most likely destroy the arm, and that wouldn't be a good thing. He does come with his little individual gun, which we can see here. These guns do sort of get pointed out in the instructions which came with the figure. Let's see if I can find long haul in here. Here we go. As you can see, there's a brief little. That's how he stores all the alternate parts in vehicle mode. As for the guns themselves, you sort of have to make out a little bit as to which gun it is because of the two color photos they've got here. But this is his gun from what I can see, and from deductive reasoning, all the other characters have their own guns. So this is his gun, and as you can see, the arms go in and out. The elbows do go up and down. Well, this one does. This one just goes down and then up, and then sort of halfway up. His head is, you can look left and right, even though he has got a big grill for his stomach. He actually looks pretty good. He's definitely the bulkier one of the robots. His legs. Oh, can you hear that? That's Devastator's legs, so obviously they're going to need to have a lot of weight bearing down on them. There's a quick look at his back. He's a little. He doesn't have a waist. No, he don't. Oh, yeah, because of transformation, he does have the waist swivel. Obviously for Devastator as well. And there's the first half of Devastator's gun. Alright, now that we've got long haul, his little how do you do. Let's move on to Hook, shall we? There we go. And here we have Hook. Now, before I go on, I just want to say that this Devastator also came with the collectible coin. And there he is there. Looks pretty cool. This is the only coin I've got. I don't intend on collecting all the coins. It's just this one came with a coin. And there we go. Hook himself, he looks pretty cool. He's got the elbow that the American one, I don't believe the American one had, but this one is just sort of a weird little connection point. Moves up and down. Doesn't move side to side, but hey, that's something you can live with. There's his little individual robot mode gun. And there's his Devastator accessory gun. That's the barrel for the combined rifle mode. It's got a head swivel, moves left to right. Looks like it's on a ball joint, or maybe it's just a swivel. It goes up and down. He looks all over the place. Arms go up and down. For transformation, they sort of bend down a little bit. Legs bend, knees bend. His feet do go on angles like that, so you can get the wide leg stance, even though the hook is still completely immovable. Other than going up and down, you can't collapse it in or anything of the sort. So, I mean, you can get him to do that if that's something you want to do. Alright, so there's a brief little house it's on hook. Let's move to Scrapper. And here we have Scrapper. I didn't really know that he was the archery type of guy, but there you have it. The chest wings sort of being used as a weapon, I guess. You really have to use your imagination on that one, but you know, you can fire an arrow if you can imagine that. There's his little individual gun. Looks pretty cool. His articulation, he's got the head moved side to side. Doesn't really look up and down, and his mechanism for getting the head out is just you push it up and down, so he can sort of duck his head in like a bit of a Ninja Turtle if you want. Shoulders move out. It's got the elbows. These elbows, when you first get them out of the package, you are going to have to force them a bit, unfortunately. Let's see if I can get the... So, that's how they come, and when you first go to move it, you think, oh, hang on, this isn't going to move, but you have to force it. It clips into place for, I think, combine mode, but then you just got to sort of force it back out, and then you have this. Will you stop hiding, please? This is your time to shine. And that's and he can drop it too. That's pretty good. I'll just get rid of that. So yeah, this whole section here collapses into this upper or the lower arm there. So sort of like that, and then when you get him into robot mode, you really need to force that back out like that. So I don't think I'll be transforming this guy too many times. Once I get him in combine mode, he'll probably be staying like that forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And Mixmaster's next on the list. Now this is the one that I'm most pleased with. I know a lot of people are sort of getting a bit antsy about his vehicle mode, whether it should be going this way or going this way. The way this one's designed, it is sort of meant to be going that way. But you know, either, whichever one suits you. If you want the classic cement mixer, you can go that way, or if you want to be a bit more updated, you can go the front way. There's his individual gun. Pretty sweet. It's got little elbow joints there. There's the Devastator chest piece. There's his double barrel rifle. The most interesting thing I found about this figure was he still has a head swivel. He can still, you know, move his head around. I mean, it's a minor thing, but I thought it was pretty cool. And still be able to move his head. I mean, it'll be easy to have this sort of fixed in place like that, but the fact that he can still move, that's pretty cool. You can stretch his legs and give him a bit of a knee there. Vicious looking thing. Alright, let's move on to Scavenger. Okay, and here we have Scavenger. He seems to be maybe the runtier Constructicon around. There's his little individual gun. Pretty cool. He's got elbow joints, shoulder articulation. When I first unboxed this guy, this arm or one of these arms was popped off, but it's just easy to pop back on. There's just a little ball friction joint there. It's all in place. This little peg in the peg hole there, when I had to really sort of jimmy that apart, that frightened the absolute heck out of me. I was worried I was going to break it. But so for future reference, it's just when you're transforming it the first time, this might be a bit tough to separate, but this is how it's meant to be transformed. His little scoop folds in pretty nicely. That clips into just like that. You can sort of give him a tail like he had in a few shots in the cartoon. Oh yeah, there's your Devastator hand as a missile launcher gun. And his face, his head, he looks left and right. He looks down, but he doesn't really look up. He sort of just looks straight ahead. There we go. Alright, that's Scavenger done. Who was next? And here is Bone Crusher. There's his little individual gun. Looks pretty cool. There's his Devastator fist as a missile launcher. There's his little face. I'm still having trouble with this. I mean, a lot of other video reviews have showed this being a bit difficult. Mine's a little less finicky, but it's still sort of not quite. It's almost there. It's sort of popping out whenever I manipulate this area down here. So I guess I shouldn't manipulate his area. As for articulation, he's got the shoulder ball joints. You can bend his arm. No wrist swivel, but hey, that's cool. His head looks left, right, a little bit up, a little bit down. Legs come out, and he's got a knee joint there. And his back assembly pretty much just stays as it is. This part is not on a hinge. This is going to be staying up like that. It doesn't really detract from the figure. Alright, that's all of their robot modes done. I'll just get a brief group shot of them if I can. And we'll go on from there. Well, I did try to get all 6 of them into the one shot, but my recording area is unfortunately not that massive. Let's see if I can maybe move that over there like that. How does that work? That doesn't really work too well either. But there's a brief little shot of all 6 of them together. All looking pretty beefy, pretty mean. Alright, and next video, or next section, we'll be looking at their vehicle modes. Alright, and here we are with their vehicle modes. All of these modes do incorporate their guns and the other accessories required to make Devastator. Now, let's see, quick look at Bone Crusher here. As you can see, he is a little bulldozer, as always. He's got his little gun incorporated into his alt mode here, pretty cool. Now, these treads don't work, obviously, because of the transformation and such. The only wheels he's got are these little black wheels here, and this little cylindrical wheel at the back here. And he still rolls pretty well. Alright, put it into the side for a sec. Let's have a quick little look at Hook. The gun here actually pegs on to this square. That square peg there fits into this square cavity here. Apologies, it doesn't seem to be coming up too well, but you get the square cavity and the square hole, and it just clips on like that. Not really much to say about this vehicle mode. It does look pretty cool, but it's not functional. The hook doesn't extend, nor does it turn around. It's just a disguise. He rolls pretty well. He does have 6 operational wheels, 3 there and 3 there. Pretty good clearance. The head still a bit visible, of course. Apologies for that. But yeah, there is Hook. Pretty smooth looking, very, very nice looking. There's Devastator's head in there, but shh, you don't know that. Scrapper. It's got the big gun. It doesn't actually seem to be able to go into any sort of direct offense position. It stores, you see there's a little peg here, and the bigger, you see he's got two holes there, the bigger hole, the peg goes into, oh no, sorry, it goes into the smaller hole. Goes like that, and then sort of like that. He's got four wheels, rolls quite well back and forth. No other wheels underneath, just four wheels. There's his head. Yeah. Moving on to Scavenger. Scavenger's just a little shovel thingy. Pick up. He doesn't rotate on an axis or anything here. It's all one solid piece. The shovel does go back and forth, but that's mainly for transformation. Extends, digs, and then plops down, goes back, digs, back. The treads again non-functioning. He's got like bone crusher. He's got two wheels at the front and a big cylindrical wheel at the back. Other than that, the gun stores via this little peg here, going into this circle here. Pegs in like that, and you can still sort of use that as a gun. Alright, moving on to Mixmaster. Now, here he is. Now the gun's designed obviously to go on this particular area. The way it fits on is, you see he's got three divots here, or three little bits sticking up. The gun, where is it? You see this hole between my thumb and forefinger? That goes over like that. And that's on there pretty securely. That's not come off anytime soon. So obviously it's either with which orientation you want to go. You can have them going that way, or you can have them going this way. I mean, the gun's obviously designed for this to be the forward, going forward like that. But the way the wheels are designed, it's like it's actually meant to be going this way, like two wheels at the front, four at the back. Well, it could be four at the back, two at the front, but I haven't seen that configuration on a truck before. But hey, these aren't meant to be real. So either, he is awesome. So front, cement goes down there, comes out here. This is actually meant to, this design is meant to be more so the person in the cabin can control the flow of the concrete instead of having an operator here and someone else at the back guiding it. So if you've got a truck like this, you're pretty much just destroying job opportunities. Anyway, moving on to Longhole himself. As you can tell, he is storing everything. This is his individual robot mode gun. The way that's being stored is, you see this slot here. It's going into a peg that's on his robot mode arm, but for here it's just sticking up, and it goes like that. There we go. As for all the accessories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are pegged in. These two chest wings, the instructions say they're meant to just slot in at the back here, but it also has these ones being stored separate, so I don't know if they're all meant to be incorporated at the same time. To give you a demonstration, I'll give you an illustration. Where is he? There he is. So you can see he's got all the weapons in there. He's got the gun being stored first, and then the 2 chest wings, and then the 2 missile launcher fists. But it's difficult to get these ones sort of pegged in, so they're just like literally sitting there rather loose at the moment. But hey, it's got all the necessary functions, all the necessary accessories in there. Nothing's being left to the side for vehicle modes or anything. It's all being incorporated into them, and that is a big plus. Alright, so that's the end of the little vehicle. Oh yeah, it's got the he rolls, and as you can hear, he is very, very solid. So that's the end of the vehicle comparison. I'm not going to show the transformation into Devastator. I'm just going to show Devastator, and I'm going to have a couple of other pieces around just as a comparison. So bear with me, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is Devastator in his combined mode, and he's much, much bigger than my recording space. So I'm just going to see if I can get him all in one shot. There we go. I will show off his little visory gimmick. If you lift up his forehead, it's on a little hinge. So, forehead's up. There's the goggles. There he is with just regular 2 eyes. So you put the forehead back down, and then you got his eyeballs. And now for the individual guns, they all clip together, and they store into long holes back here. So they all clip together, and then they all sort of clip into holes in long holes. Scoop, truck, thingy, tray. There we go. And he is very, very big and very, very cool. Articulation, everything here is locked, so these parts are just sort of, as you can see, that's Scavenger's treads, and then everything else is just Scavenger himself. Let's see if I can get a closer look here. Things those Scavenger's treads, and the rest of him is just all hinging up on that joint there. So that's how the shoulders are done. For the legs, I've seen a few people saying that, you know, Scrapper doesn't make a very good supportive leg. He seems to be doing okay on mine. I'm not going to be getting him into any strenuous poses, so I won't be putting a huge amount of strain upon the bucket here, but this is how the instructions have said to do the legs, or how to do Scrapper anyway. Get him in sort of this position. I hope that's coming across okay. I know it's not very descriptive, but there you got his fists there, sort of poking out that way. And it all seems to be supported rather well. He doesn't seem to want to topple over, or there hasn't been any strenuous cracks or strains coming out of this figure so far. So there's a quick look at the combined mode. Now I'm just going to pause it for another second and try and get some scale comparisons. I'll be right back. Before we go into size comparison, I just want to point out this neat little artwork that's on the back of Devastator's instruction manual. It's pretty cool. It's got all the Constructicons around here. It's got hoist. It's got grapple. It's got hauler. And it's got Omega Supreme taking some valuable crystals. Now I thought this was you know, a nod to the Master Builder, that episode. But if you look at it, it looks like Crystal City from Cybertron, but then you realize that there's this guy here. He looks like maybe an older version of Chip Chase. So this is sort of a disjointed reality pick, I think. But it looks pretty cool. It's got them all together. It's got long haul in robot mode using his tray for conveying some more diamonds or crystals. It looks pretty cool. But anyway, let's go on with some comparisons, shall we? Now, this is going to be bigger than the previous shot, so apologies, there's going to be lots of camera movement. Here we go. So here is Devastator, Metroplex, and a current combiner was Superion. Now, as you can see, Devastator really is in a league of his own, comparison-wise. I don't know. I'm not up to date with the comics. So is Devastator bigger than the other combiners? Is that what's meant to be happening, or is this just, you know, the one compulsory giant figure for the year, and they had to make it Devastator, and they had to combine it with Combiner Wars. So anyway, that's him. There's Metroplex. I thought he would have said something Metroplex. Come on.
Decepticon deactivation commencing.
Yeah, that sounds a bit better. Alright. Thank you very much for watching this, what I think is going to be a rather lengthy review. I'm about to start compressing and editing and such. Please do remember to subscribe. I am going to keep making videos. So please do subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in a future video. I think one of my next videos I'm going to be getting that Kingfisher Bruticus upgrade for the previous Bruticus upgrade kit. So watch out for that, and thank you for watching. See you next time.